What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cameron, back at it again with a Call of Duty Invitational Tournament, West Coast finale. And, guys, they really need to buff these weapons, man. These two guns are fucking atrocious. They need to buff the M4 and the FAMAS. The FAMAS may be one of the worst guns in Call of Duty history. It is terrible. This FAMAS is terrible. I'm trying to level it up. I'm trying to get a gold, going for that diamond grind, and it's just impossible. This gun does no damage. It does 29 damage, which I'm pretty sure is probably one of the lowest in the game, if not the lowest. I think it does the lowest damage output out of any weapon in the game. It is terrible. The gun is terrible. Low damage, insanely high fire rate, and terrible range, and it runs out of bullets in like 2 seconds. It's terrible. It is terrible. I know what you guys are watching right now. You're like, yo, Cam, the gun looks pretty good right now. It's melting through people. You get a gunship in this game. What are you talking about? All right, man. I'm an MLG Call of Duty athlete, bro. All right, I'm a professional sweaty nerd exterminator. Okay, that is why my balls after this game were sweaty as hell. I'm on, like I said, 2 hits of Addy, some cocaine, 3 or 4 Bang Energies, 12 espressos, and 6 or 8 Starbucks coffees to get this gameplay here. This is the West Coast tournament finale, Call of Duty CDL Scump versus Nade Shot tournament. So that's why I'm playing like this, man. You need to understand that. But if you're just trying to play with the gun, it's terrible. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic, but the gun is terrible, guys. The recoil is the worst thing about it. I'm putting all the anti-recoil attachments on it, and that kind of fucks with the mobility. And the only time I get kills is randomly. It'll just pop off. It is the most inconsistent gun I've ever used. Sometimes it's melting people from range, and other times I'm shooting and I'm aiming at Jesus and high in the sky. This gun is terrible. It definitely needs a rework. The only time I can use it if I'm running the SPAS 12 cheese with it. And I tried it with Gunfighter. I don't know, man. I don't really like it with Gunfighter. Most of the time I use it with Gunfighter, I'm getting shitted on. But then again, that's because of the huge inconsistencies with this gun. I'm running it here with Perk Greed because I just think the perks are a little bit more helpful so I can get up in people's faces, because at any range you're going to get outgunned. Any gun is going to shit on you at range with this gun, and so it doesn't even matter. So I'm using Perk Greed to get up and close and personal with people, take them out. Up close, it's not bad because of the insane fire rate. It can, put out a lot of damage quickly, but I'll still lose to like an MP5, a burst rifle, or a QBZ or something like that, because the mobility on this gun isn't as good as an SMG or a QBZ, so you can't really use it as an as an SMG, because the mobility isn't really all there, unless you put a lot of attachments to help with the mobility, but then you're sacrificing the recoil control, and the recoil control is terrible, and I don't know. This gun caught one of the most unnecessary nerfs I've ever seen. This gun did not need to even be touched. I didn't even think it was overpowered. Yeah, the range was a little crazy. I think if you cut the range a little bit, I think it would be okay. But, I don't know, it was unnecessary. You didn't need to make this nerf this strong for this gun. I think reduce the damage range a little bit and it would have been okay. I think doing all this crazy stuff to increase the recoil. But this nerf was very unnecessary, because now this gun is completely useless, especially in these lobbies. Like, I have a 2.17 KD, so, my lobbies are AIDS. They're terrible, especially in these Sweatfest, CDL, Scump, Nade Shot lobbies I'm in, drop-shotting nerds, people who haven't left their house in maybe 10 years. These guys who've never talked to a girl, never been laid in their life, and are possibly asexual, in their life is Call of Duty. Dude, you cannot be using non-meta weapons in these lobbies. You can't. You cannot be using these guns. You can't be doing it. You have to be using the most OP guns, or else you're going to get demolished. And right here, like I said, I'm sweating my balls off, bro. My balls are sweaty as shit in this gameplay. I probably burned around 800 calories. My heart rate was at 800 beats per minute. It was fucking insane, dude. I need to do, after this lobby, bro, I had to put an oxygen mask on. I had to take a couple deep breaths. It was terrible, man. This lobby was terrible, and I just have to sweat my balls off with this FFAR. It's garbage. It really needs a nerf. It really needs a buff. Doesn't need another nerf. Because right now it's useless, bro. It's giving me Series F2000 vibes from MW2. Like, you cannot use this gun. Because, sure, even if you're on a streak, you're going to kill 3 people and then you're out of bullets. So you have to run Scavenger or you have to run Assault Pack. And I always run Assault Pack because Scavenger, in my opinion, sucks dick in this game. Because they have the resupply stations across the map. They have Assault Packs, which are way better than Scavenger because you get extra points. So you have to run Assault Pack, and I would recommend Perk Greed and every single anti-recoil or damage range attachment you have to run on it, or else the gun's unusable and is complete ass. The next gun that I think needs a buff is this M4. The M4 is another gun that's fucking ass. It definitely needs a buff. It does no damage. It does 30 damage. It does less damage than an MP5. Sure, it has better range and has a decent fire rate, nothing crazy, but it's not the M4 that we all know. This is a disgrace to the M4 and the Commando from Black Ops 1. This gun is terrible. It does no damage. Close range, it's horrible. Its mobility is meh. It's not that good, but I'd rather just use an SMG if I'm going close range. And its damage is terrible. 30 damage for an AR is garbage. I think the baseline for like an all-around AR or majority of ARs that aren't like fast firing should be like at least 32. Because all the other ARs outclass this one and the FAMAS. God damn it, shut the fuck up. Outclass these guns 10-1. The QBZ is hella better. The Krieg is better and the AK are much better than both of these guns. They don't even use these guns because they get so outclassed so easily. There's no point. You know, the Krieg is better for range, the AK is better for damage, and the QBZ is superior in mobility. Every other aspect of those 3 assault rifles is way better than these ones. So I definitely think these 2 guns need a rework, or else they're just completely useless. They're completely horrendous guns. They don't even have a place in the game because, like I said, with the CDL tournament lobbies, you cannot be using guns that aren't the best guns in the class. Because you just get shitted on. Because the M4, the only time I'll do well is if I'm in a bot lobby. If I'm not in a bot lobby, dude, good luck. The M4 is garbage. Sometimes I'll do a decent amount of damage at range. It doesn't really have that much of recoil, but something's just off with it. I hate the way it feels. Like, I like the way the FAMAS feels. That's why sometimes I enjoy using it because it's a lot of fun to use. But the M4, it just feels very clunky. It feels very slow. It feels very clunky. Like, I have pretty decent mobility attachments. I have the buffer tube. I have speed mag. I have drop. I have, like, you know, the jungle grip. I have all these different mobility attachments on it, and it's still terrible. I don't know what to put on it. Let me know what you guys put on it to make it better, but it's just a disgrace, bro. Like, you can't have an M4 being the worst gun in the game. Like, these 2 guns are by far the worst guns in the game. From what the LMGs, from what I've seen, they're very, very powerful. I just can't get down with them because I don't have the attachments that are necessary to use them, so I'm grinding them out in zombies. So the LMGs are very, very powerful, especially the RPD. The RPD is an insanely underrated gun. It is very powerful. The M60 is very, very powerful, like 2 shots people. The Stoner is no recoil. Like, there's different... The LMGs are good. The TAC rifles are all overpowered. Every single one of the TAC rifles is top tier. The Type 63, the M14, the AUG, and the M16 are all overpowered. They are all broken. Okay? Like, they one-shot people to the head. They are broken as shit. You do not need to, like, touch those guns. Those guns are all overpowered. They will do the fucking work for you, dude. These guns are broken. The SMGs are all pretty solid. The MP5, I don't really think is overpowered anymore because it's only really good in close range. At range, it's kind of garbage now. So I'm not really tripping about the MP5. It's just the assault rifles I feel like are very lackluster aside from those 3. I think the FFAR is completely useless. You can't even use that gun. The gun is trash. The M4 is another scenario. You can't even use the gun. The gun is so bad that you can't even use it. Nobody uses it. I actually haven't been killed by an M4 in this game. Like, it's odd. Usually the M4 is a solid fucking option to run. But it's just so bad in this game, it's laughable. But these are definitely the 2 worst guns in Cold War. Steer clear of these guns until they get buffed. They do need to get buffed. The damage on both of them needs to be buffed, and everything else does, because they're completely useless. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is your boy Cameron. I'm out.